Hello, Meg here from I Teach Stamping, and welcome to the Friday Flip. So the Friday Flip is where we take one project idea and we flip it into something completely different. Let's go ahead and dive in with this. Let's take a look at our inspiration card. So we're going to use this card right here. What I loved about this was the pattern of this background, and I love the shape of it. I love that it was hanging off the edge, and I also love this little banner running through it. So let's go ahead and flip this card. We're going to start with our stamping, and I'm going to be using one stamp set, so it's the Just Saying stamp set. And I've got a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to start with the stamp that has Miss You Already, but I don't want to say Miss You Already. I want it to just say Miss You. So I'm using the broad end of my marker and just inking up that part. And this is a basic black marker. You don't need to be in a hurry when you do this. You'll see why in just a second. So if the ink completely dries, you're still okay. All right, so now we're going to pick it up and we're going to give it what I call the breath of life. Some people call it huffing on your stamps, and I just think that sounds illegal, so we're going to use mine instead. That's the breath of life. We're going to stamp it onto, make sure I'm stamping the right side of this, onto some white cardstock. That's going to give me that right there. I love this little font that goes along with it. And then I'm going to use one of the outlines. Now this outline, there were words in the middle and I cut them out. So if you want to do that ahead of time, just so it always, it doesn't always have the same expression in there. I'm going to pick up my imaging sheet if I can. There we go. And this is going to be very light on here because I used yellow on my imaging sheet. I'm just going to get that Miss You nice and framed out. Grab the old Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. Ink this up in some Daffodil Delight and stamp. Alright, now believe it or not, that is all the stamping that we are going to be doing. So the next thing we're going to do is our big shot stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. The first thing I'm going to do is do an oval. This is the oval framelits. And this is the oval that's a little bit wider than 3 inches. And this is Pacific Point, the Bright's paper stack. So that's where I'm going to grab that texture from. Super cute right there. All right, now the next one, this should be nice and dry. I'm going to use the word bubble framelits, so the framelits that go with this stamp set. And I'm using my magnetic platform. Get this nice and lined up. We're going to send it back on through the big shot. So if you notice, I just press down with my thumb. If you find that your cutting plates are in need of replacement and you're just not in the mood to replace them, like me, if you'll kind of press down with your thumb, make it flat as it goes through, it'll help those magnets on your magnetic platform really grip. All right, so we've got our cute little Miss You. And now all we have to do is the assembly of our card, and you will not believe how quick this goes together. All right, so the base for our card is going to be basic black, 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I scored it at 5 1/2. We're going to bring in a piece of white cardstock that's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and then a little strip, just a 1 inch strip of that same pattern paper. So it's going to be 1 inch by 4 inches. And ta-da, there's the inside of our card. Now let's go ahead and pay attention to the front. I've got another piece of white cardstock, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I'm going to start by putting my oval on it like so. Then the next thing I'm going to do is grab a 1/2 inch strip. So this is 1/2 inch by right at 3 1/2 inches. The length of it doesn't matter too much. We're going to trim it down. I'm just using the little banner punch to give me that great little edge there. So I'm going to have it overhang our oval. Just like so. So see, it's sticking off the edge. We're going to give it a haircut in just a moment, don't worry. Then I'm going to grab my paper piercing tool. I liked how the inspiration card, let me pull it in, brought your eye all the way over to the edge. We're not going to go all the way, but we're going to do some paper piercing around this. And I'm just winging it. Just going to follow the line of that arrow. There we go. So we have some fun little paper piercing done there. Then I'm going to grab this and get this on our card like so. Now we're going to take this and we're going to flip it over. We're going to give it a haircut. And then all we have to do is drop it onto our card front. Ta-da! And just like that, we have flipped our little thanks card into a Miss You card. So let's go ahead and bring back in our inspiration and see what we kept. So we kept a lot of it. I kept the oval and I kept the chevron pattern. I just rotated it 90 degrees. Instead of the flower, I put this on here, but I still had a little shape back behind it. I kept the banner and I kept it going a little bit more of that paper piercing. And so there we have it. Another Friday flip in the books. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like the Friday flip, please be sure to like it below and also be sure to share it with your friends. Then head on over to iteachstamping.com. Make sure that you are signed up for my mailing list so you never miss an exclusive project that I only share with those on that list. Again, I'm Meg from I Teach Stamping. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video tutorial. Have a great day.